Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy DrDeez. We are back with another video. Today, we got a very special guest on. A very special guest. Everybody welcome my boy Kory. Kory, Watcher of Realms. Oh, sorry, this way. How you doing, Kory?
Thank you. It's our first collab, like our first official collab. So definitely excited.
Absolutely. I'm glad that I actually asked you to come on because I wanted to do a top 10 for GvG units, and I couldn't think of a better content creator than Kory. Kory's all about GvG, guys. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, do it. What are you doing? He's got the best GvG strategies. You definitely want to subscribe. I will have it in the description, but let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Sorry about that, guys. I had to flip my camera around because I was looking the opposite way of Kory whenever I want to make like I'm looking at him, right? So who do we have at number 10, Kory?
Yep, so number 10, we have Lily. Now, Lily is an epic healer. However, one of her biggest strong suits is her constant ability to provide shields and revives. And she is one of the few healers and just units in general that has pretty much stood the test of time from GvG from season 1 all the way up until this most recent point. So super strong unit, really good range. She's amazing.
Absolutely. I actually have her a lot higher on my list, mainly because we see her in almost every single strategy. But guys, keep in mind, Kory, did you say your guild is number 1 right now?
Yep.
We finished number 1.
We
finished number 1.
We beat Mad, so it's definitely nice.
So my list is going to look a little different than Kory's because my guild is always outside. We're like high, almost overlord, but we're not there. We always get beat and we're on the outside looking in. So you're getting perspectives from the top guild compared to the not so top guild, right? So my Lily is actually higher on the list, but I 100% agree. She is amazing. The best thing about her is this right here: prevents incoming fatal damage one time for one ally. That's absolutely amazing, right? Then for my number 10, I wonder, see, I'm curious if we're going to have the same list or if it's going to look a lot different in terms of the top 10. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I think we're going to have some similar units. I think there's going to be a couple that I think are really strong right now based off of internal testing that you might not necessarily think about.
Absolutely. I'm excited for it. I want to hear about it. All right, so let's go to my number 10. At number 10, I have AI, or I, whatever you want to call her. AI. And do you have I on your list?
I would say she's like directly on the outskirts because I think for her to work, you have to sacrifice or build around her, and you're also kind of building your team for one specific unit, which is going to be the Grotesque Fiend. And so there are other strategies that you can use against certain teams, excluding the Grotesque Fiend. So it's almost like I as a counter to the Grotesque Fiend, but you also need some adjacent units to really go ahead and fully counter it. And even then, there are some certain strategies, so I'll kind of go ahead and get into it a little bit, right? So the reason why I is like super popular is because you'll see her with like Praetus comps. So Praetus, Lady Alexandra, you'll see like a Brokkir typically, units like that, or the Yovar teams where you're going to have Yovar, Diaochan, Lady Alexandra, Brokkir, plus adjacent unit. It just depends, right? Now with that, or it would be I, right? So with that, you can go ahead and do some interesting strategies where you stack the necromancers plus healers plus dogs and tanks, and then you're able to kind of get through the eye crystals. So she works really well, right? However, there are strategies that you can use to deal with her eye crystals. And then secondly, there is RNG that's involved with eye in general. So one thing with eye that people don't know about, because it's very hard to test because you get one instance. But basically, if you start up an instance of GvG, eye is going to be hard coded to do one specific rotation of crystals every single time. So if you hit restart, she'll do it again. Restart, she'll do it again. However, if you quit out and then you do it, she'll have a different rotation of crystals. So even in her kit, there's RNG that's involved as to where she places it, and that can also impact how the run goes. So that's kind of like one of the downfalls to her, but also one of the plus sides, because she can instantly stop a run for certain things, or she can enable a run to be much more efficient than it normally would. So super good, but she's the best complementary unit to like a Valara or to a Lady Alexandra, for example. But she doesn't stand alone as a strong unit.
So I agree. I agree with what you said, but at the same time, I just see so many comps with, it revolves around I. You can't do it without I. With her just stopping the units, she's just very annoying to go against if someone has a really good strategy. Again, you're probably dealing with teams that are a lot higher than the teams that my guild's going against, but I had to put her in my top 10. I think 10's a good spot, but like you said, 12. So we're like kind of close to each other, kind of close. But just the crowd control's absolutely insane. There are ways around it, but she's just very annoying if someone has a good comp with her. So I is my number 10. Now let's go to your number 9. Who do we got, Kory?
Yep. So my number 9 is going to be Neza.
It's
going to be Neza.
Okay,
yes.
One of the new units. Okay, I see you, bro.
Yeah. He is something else. He genuinely is a really oppressive unit, because his damage is nothing to scoff at, first and foremost, right? He also just provides, it's ridiculous. He can almost independently prevent bug bombing runs because of that stun. And then secondly, once you start to get him to like higher awakenings, it almost feels like Neza never dies. He is literally like an immortal tank killer, AoE DPS monster. It is very frustrating to go against. But also, one of the main things for him in particular is he's a watcher and esoteric unit. So with that, you can stack him. Oh yeah, you stack him with Cyrus, you stack him with Nastia, stack him with Ymiret, and he can basically solo DPS an entire side of the map for you, no issues. He's disgusting.
I got a question.
Yes.
I'm assuming you guys have been testing him out, because see, luckily you said him. I always forget that this is a dude. I gotta imprint that into my brain, but I'm assuming that you guys have been testing him out, because I actually left him off the list, but thinking back on hindsight, just looking at his kit and me testing him out, of course he would be nasty for GvG, but I've never personally got to test him on GvG yet. So I'm assuming that you guys already got that taken care of on your guild.
Oh yeah, he was dominating the meta for Gladiator Gauntlet most recently, and then also he is a very staple unit right now. Also, it's funny because based off how the maps are built, he always has the ability to hit units. He also hits air, which is fantastic because it really limits your ability to fly over, especially when you think about Cyrus as a lord, obviously, or Ymiret as a lord, or Nastia as a lord, who very, very effectively can deal with flyers because of how they function, right? So you have Neza in the back line, everything else is gone.
All right, hey, so you guys heard that. My man Kory said Neza is going to be broken for GvG. I'm actually going to implement a strategy with them. All right, cool. Yeah. Let's do it. So my number 9 is right here. We've got the Sun Wukong. Wukong, my man. The reason why he's not higher on the list is because when you think of GvG, I think of, crowd controls and stopping a lot of times they're trying to swarm you, they're trying to do this. Wukong is really good for, single target, of course, and also the stuns. He can't hit flying units. You could make a case for him higher on the list. Just out of curiosity, do you have him on your list?
Yes, he is on my list.
Okay, perfect. So, Wukong is just about that life. This guy's an absolute beast. He, like I said, he comes with stunts. I mean, anybody that does GvG and has a Wukong, more than likely you have a strategy with this man right here. Again, I could have made him higher on the list, but I was really putting some thought into this, and I was like, man, I don't know. I like the units that I have above him a little bit more, but this guy's an absolute beast. And the beautiful thing is they came out with a banner for this guy recently again, then we also had a choose your own. So if you don't have Wukong, that's probably a problem. Most people should have already got him by now.
Oh yeah. Wukong is I'll just go ahead and spoil it. Wukong is the next unit on my list.
Perfect.
Now there's
Right
a very
there.
particular reason for it, right? Reason being is because with the Grotesque Fiend, and I'm going to mention the Grotesque Fiend a lot because he's like the Chaos Shaman 2.0. Like I remember like a while back when the Chaos Shaman first came out, I was fortunate to be like one of the first people to get the Chaos Shaman
Mhm.
and test like all the different applications as to him. I would say the Grotesque Fiend is like the Chaos Shaman, but like worse in terms of like how strong it is. And Wukong is incredibly vital for Nightmare teams to go ahead and effectively deal with it because Wukong goes ahead and ults, right? Now, Wukong will ult and take out the Grotesque Fiend and proc its passive. And then it's obviously going to kind of stack up because the bugs go ahead and make it bigger, have more damage, have more HP, right? But then the second Wukong ult pretty effectively can deal with it and take out the Grotesque Fiend. So that's why I think Wukong is number 8 for me. He just has a very good ability to take out the Grotesque Fiend. And then not only that, he's really good at just taking out tanks. Like single target damage in general, he is perfect for dealing with it. And he obviously is typically applied to Nightmare teams, so that's another bonus. It helps with Torador being tanky because he has a revive passive with Monkey's Business. So in Guild v Guild, typically everyone's Wukong, at least in high level Overlord, right? Everyone's Wukong is A5. If it's not A5, it's not on the map, right? So it's just dealing massive damage. It's unbelievable what he can do with the proper setup.
Absolutely. And honestly, a lot of people, that's my go-to right there. That is my go-to. If I'm running out of ideas for a strategy for GvG, my strategies aren't working, I do a Nightmare team. And it revolves around Torador, Wukong, probably Arrogance, Hatsu, and either Lily or Carnelian. It's going to make it a lot harder if you don't have Wukong because you need to deal with the, especially like Captain Maul, stuff like that. You have to have someone that can down him, tanks. And Wukong's the man for the job for that. He's an absolute beast. And at number 8, I have someone that comes with booty clapping. They come with crowd controls. And when they hit their ultimate, it's amazing range. Kory, I think you already know who I'm about to say. It's going to be our girl, Anora. Anora, man, oh man, Anora is so nasty. She is so nasty for GvG, guys. An absolute beast, an absolute must have when it comes to GvG. My problem with my Anora is I don't have her bonded, but she still does a wonderful job. And the best part about her is the fact that when she hits her ultimate, her range just turns into the Setrum range, right? Or not Setrum, but the, you know, the hollow range and all that good stuff. Her range gets to where she can reach the hard to reach places. And, you know, we need AoE damage and also crowd controls to stop all these crowds of units coming through, right? So do you have Anora on yours?
Oh yeah, she is next on the list.
Oh, we're like neck and neck right now. It's going to change towards the end though. I think our last 3 will be similar, but okay, well, let's go ahead and put your Anora in there, and you'll probably have a better explanation than I had just now. So let's go ahead and right here, Anora, there it is.
Yep. So Anora is an interesting unit, right? Because, and I'm going to kind of relate this back to last season, Anora was even being used in the Nightmare teams, which is kind of weird. And I'm going to explain this, right? Because there's a couple of interesting things with her kit, which typically go like undisclosed, right? First, she doesn't get debuffs. So Garnet Guards with Chaos Shaman doesn't work. She doesn't get burned. So that's one massive buff to her, right? If she can't get burned, it means that she's only getting 1 hit from the Garnet Guards, which means she doesn't go down. Secondly, is she has some ridiculous RNG in her kit. I can't tell you how many times, if she is A1, right, she gets the ability to root units down with her hits, right? Mobilize state. With that being said, there's so many times where she will go ahead and hit that immobilized state randomly, right? And desync the flyers, like legendary flyers, lightning guards. And that means they won't take out the Cyrus. That means they won't take out the tank because the tank is always getting healed in that intermittent piece of period of time. Third, she just hits hard. Like
very hard.
There's no doubt about it. When she ults, like the map is gone. Like there's nothing left unless you have like ridiculous like level 9, 10 11 healers and some really, really good BP, like everything is gone. And then also she hits air, super frustrating to deal with. She is just a menace on the map. And if you have her bonded with Ymiret, like I fortunately do now, it's so disgusting what she can do even off faction. Obviously she benefits from being a cultist and an esoteric. You typically see her, genuinely, I would say you typically see her with the esoteric comms. Because she just does so much damage, and also she's paired with Cyrus, who is giving those summons, which is also giving her buffs. So yeah, she's absolutely disgusting as a unit. Will one-shot everything on the map. Goodbye.
And one thing that I will mention is if you are using Anora, don't use Soulbound Arcana. She doesn't get that benefit. Use something else. Use Infernal Roar. More than likely Cataclysm is decent for her, but do not use Soulbound Arcana. For all of you guys that have Anora and have her in Soulbound Arcana, go ahead and take it off.
I can explain why. It's because so Labor, which is the dragon that she summons, is taking a snapshot of her stats at the very beginning of the match. So Soulbound Arcana gives you stacks progressively throughout the match. She just takes a quick snapshot. What are her stats? And that's why IR is typically better in Infernal Roar, because it just gives a additive bonus rather than a multiplicative bonus.
Okay, perfect. Let's go back. And I wonder, it's been a trend. At number 9, I had Wukong. At number 8, my boy Kory had Wukong. At number 8, I had Anora. At number 7, Kory had Anora. So at number 7 for me, I have none other than a booty clapper for the Nightmare faction. I see her used constantly, and she does such an amazing job. She gets her ultimate back so quickly, and you already know who I'm going with. My girl Hatsu. Hatsu, baby. I'm telling you right now, Hatsu is about that life. Honestly, there's so many. I don't know if where you're at in the game or where your guild's at, if you guys still see Hatsu a lot, but I see Hatsu on almost every. They'll either have her in Team 1 or Team 2. Because she is just so good. So good.
She's like the safe unit.
Yeah, she is like the safe unit. I mean, the thing that makes her so nasty and so annoying to go against, if I can find her, there she is, the very first one, Jesus. The thing that makes her so good is this range. That's the first thing. The range on the ultimate, the fact that she can reach everybody, right? All around her. Then on top of that, it just booty claps. It will just absolutely delete everything. When you're trying to do a Storm strategy, I always try to pop her ultimate, and then I send the dogs, and the dogs can get past her, and we're good to go, right? But also on top of that, another thing that is super annoying if you're going against her, in the beginning, she's invisible. You know, there's certain strategies where that could be an advantage, but she's just got the ultimate kit, and AoE is what it's all about with GvG, and she's about that life. She is about that life. So, Kory, is she your number 6?
No, she is not, actually.
Oh, is she even on your list?
No, she is not.
What?
It's because, and I know this sounds so insane, right?
Okay.
It's because when you use Hatsu, you're almost forced into a Nightmare comp. And with that being said, there are some strategies that kind of benefit from her range, from her ulting, because she doesn't have that extra tile of range. So like, it's like a cross almost. If she had like one extra tile of range, then yeah, she'd be super lethal. But what happens is you kind of bait out her ultimate, and then at that point, you have nothing else to worry about. So
only unless
she's good.
Only unless you have a really good arrogance back there. Come on, my guy. Yes. No, but that's like I said, he's really high up. I see Hatsu in almost every strategy. I had to throw her in here just because of how annoying she is. But to your point, especially probably number 1 in Overlord, there are ways around it. You just bait out the ultimate, and then basically she's non-existent. You just send double dogs and you get right past them. So that's a good point. That's a good point. I still like her on my top 10, but let's see who your number 6 is, my man. Let's see who your number 6 is.
Number six is going to catch a little bit of flack, but it's Carnelian.
Oh, my man. My man. By the way, I spelled Lily wrong. That's crazy. I spelled Lily wrong. Jesus. Okay, so Carnelian, I might have spelled this wrong too. Actually, I spelled it different for both of them. Let me just go ahead. Actually, I think it's an A. I think it's an A. Here, let me change that.
Oh,
It's an
yeah,
A,
yeah.
right? Yeah. I knew that. I was testing you to see if you knew. You passed.
Oh, yeah.
So let me just go ahead and lift this bad boy up. Ta-da!
Oh, yep.
There it is. All right, go ahead. Tell us why.
Yeah, so Carnelian is okay. So Carnelian is the best Guild Guild healer in the game. I don't think that there's any debate on that whatsoever. I think she's essential to have two good teams. Now, the reason why I have her as number 6 is because one of my biggest gripes about her is that she prevents death, but I would rather heals over death prevention, and to some degree, right? And so what happens is with Carnelian, she is universal, right? You can put her in any team. But what happens is if you can go ahead and get the tank low enough, it almost feels like, oh, now I can just go kill the tank, right? It gives you some more free range. In my opinion, I feel like A5 Carnelian, disgusting. There's RNG that's involved there. Always take the RNG, right? However, Lily is in a similar boat, but she goes ahead and provides heals. Now, the reason why I always put Carnelian above Lily, in my personal opinion, is just because RNG is always disgusting. And then secondly, Carnelian can be placed anywhere. Lily primarily benefits in like certain comps, but Carnelian protects everybody. And so that's where like the discrepancy is. Carnelian will go ahead and put orbs 600 attack speed, everybody. Like, make sure she's 600 attack speed. She'll put orbs everywhere, right? And basically prevent bug bombing strategies, prevent burning strategies. So that's why Carnelian is number 6. She's the best Guild healer. However, I'm always going to prioritize damage dealers and one particular unit that you will see in a little bit over healers.
I agree with what you said. I had her at number 6 because well, let me go ahead. I'll tell you who's at 6 and I'll tell you who's at 5. My number 5 is actually Lily. I couldn't decide which one to go with. I know you had Lily at number 10, but honestly, there's only 2 healers in this game. I mean, every once in a while you'll see Ezra and you'll see someone go no heals. You'll see someone try to throw in. I don't know. Maybe people will start using Draylen now. I haven't gotten a chance to test her out, but I'm pretty sure she's absolutely amazing and probably broken for this. But since I didn't get to test her out and I'm just going off of I assume she is, then I didn't add Draylen into my top 10 list. But with this being said, as of right now, from where I was at in the game, everybody, there's only 2 healers that you go with. More than likely, it's Carnelian or it's Lily. And I couldn't decide on which one would be higher, but I feel like Lily, me personally, I feel like Lily can be used in more comps just because there's certain tanks that you need to heal them. You can't let them keep dying because, like you said with Carnelian, she's placing the orb, but she's not really healing. And then you're like, oh, you know what? I could kill this tank. So that was my whole thought process on Lily being a little bit higher, but I think that they're neck and neck. I'm assuming you have Draylen on your list.
No, I do not have Draylen. It's the reason being, from here on out, it gets really, really stacked and very nuanced.
Okay. I like it. Okay, so since we already did my number 5, let's go ahead and hear your number 5. Who's your number 5, bro?
Yep. Number 5 is Diaochan.
Ooh. Okay.
I hate it. I hate the fact that I have to put her on this list. Because Diaochan is... Okay, so I'll just kind of like spill the beans a little bit, right?
Okay.
So towards the end of Gladiator Gauntlet, there was a team that was discovered, which was really, really frustrating. And it is spawned its ugly head again. It is going to be Brokkir / Titus, one of the two, right? With Yovar, Diaochan, Lady Alexandra. That's the team of 5, right? Now, the reason why it's oppressive is because Diaochan, especially when you place her properly, will go ahead and give the inspiration boost to Lady Alexandra permanently. And that means that you need to have very high BP to survive the Lady Alexandra cross-map hits. And if you don't, then you just lose, right? The initial onset of damage is so important for the progression of the rest of the battle because, and this is kind of funny, but hypothetically, right? Diaochan boosts everybody. They take out the front line. That means you're relying on back line to go ahead and win. And what does Lady Alexandra love? low HP units because she just basically executes them.
Yeah,
And it kind of runs the same for Yovar as well. So Diaochan essentially enables, and I'll just go ahead and say it, I personally think it's probably the strongest comp right now for Guild v Guild. Like, it is very close. Like, it is very close. It's Diaochan, Lady Alexandra, Yovar teams, or Praetus Valara teams. Like, it's very close, and Diaochan enables the Piercer team. So she is definitely a top 5 unit in my opinion, at least as of right now.
Just out of curiosity, I've never used Diaochan. I've never seen anyone use her, but it sounds like I'm going to start seeing it, especially after they see this video. Thanks for that, Kory.
Oh yeah.
But so how exactly? I've always wondered this. I've never tested it out, but you said you had to lay her down properly, right? I always assumed that she would just keep switching back and forth between her ultimates. Is that what she does?
So she doesn't necessarily swap. She will if you go ahead and place her to provide heals to the tank, right? But that's where I comes into the fray, because you don't necessarily, and Brokkir, right? You don't necessarily need Brokkir to survive. You just need him to survive long enough. And that's where Diaochan kind of fits into the mold here, because it doesn't matter if your Brokkir dies, because what's going to happen is I's going to place a crystal on his spawn or his tile, and then I's just going to fill the map. So it really just becomes a massive check between who does more damage, right? And then who's tankier. There's Diaochan with Lady Alexandra giving perma buffs, do more damage to take out your healers, take out your tanks, take out all your units? Or are you able to tank long enough and do proper placements and timing manipulation to essentially win? But the BP check of it is where it gets disgusting, because Diaochan just gives permanent inspiration. It takes a lot of skill and finesse to really beat Diaochan, because Diaochan is what makes it work. Any other unit that you put into that team, it won't function nearly as well, because giving Lady Alexandra a permanent boost, trust me, if you go against a 0 at Lady Alexandra with Divine Justice, an a 3-1 and a 5-1 with and without Diaochan, you will feel the difference.
You'll feel it.
It's so much harder to beat without Diaochan.
Okay, that is interesting. That is interesting. I don't have Lady A, so I'm a little jelly. I'm not gonna lie. She is annoying. I'm a little bit of a Lady A hater because of how hard she is to get. I can't stand it. I'm not even halfway there, guys. I'm like at 18,000 Apex coins. But you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's go with my number 4. And this is more out of me not having her and being jelly. She definitely could be number 1 on this list, but I had to put her at number 4, number 4, because I was like, you know what? This chick is like, she's annoying, but also I don't run into her that often. I'm sure where you're at, you run into her a lot. Me, I barely run into her. I mean, there are teams that have her, and when they do have her, it's like, I don't even fight them. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even fight it, because she just deletes everything, bro. She's super annoying. I don't have her, which makes it even more annoying. But you know, hey, I guess if I grind it, I could get there, right? But you know, Lady Alexandra, she is honestly one of the best units in the whole entire game, and it'll take you a while to get there, but if you can get her, she will do amazing things for you, not only in GvG, but almost anything. I mean, she's essential for stage 23 and 24 for Gear Rate 3. She's just a beast. She's about that life. I know you have her on the list. There's no way you don't have her on the list, but we will save that as a surprise. So let's go ahead and let's, I mean, you kind of explained why she's so good. If you need Diaochan to buff her up, that right there tells you how good she is. So, okay, let's go with your number 4. Who do we got?
Yes, so my number 4, it's a little bit of a sleeper pick, but I'm going to put Brokkir as number 4. Brokkir. Okay. Now, I can't tell you enough as to why I think he's number 4, but let's just kind of start with, you know, he has AoE freeze. He has a shield that's basically a revive. He has a passive, which makes him invulnerable to damage. He has RNG that's involved whenever a unit hits him, and he's A1. You know, 15% per hit, which means, hey, every time he gets hit by like axes, for example, that's like a 30% chance to go freeze. Kind of ridiculous. And he just does not die. He is very durable, and especially if you get him to like A5, he's incredibly durable. I personally believe, and I have argued this since the dawn of time, I think that Brokkir is the best tank in the game. I don't care. He is disgusting. And for Guild v Guild, he's the only tank in Guild v Guild that is used regardless of faction. Like it doesn't, if you're building your perfect dream comp with it, whether it's piercers, arbiters, whatever, excluding Nightmare and like esoteric obviously, but even then with esoteric it kind of depends if you're using Cyrus. He is there. There's a reason he does not die. So he's number 4.
It's funny that you bring him up at number 4 because you already know your boy has him at number 3. Let's go. Let's get it. Brokkir, you basically took the words right out of my mouth, but basically every single team, there will be a Brokkir. I've always said the same thing. Brokkir is the best defender in the game, but a lot of people was arguing with me on my stream recently saying that they think it's Drayla now. I don't have Drayla, so I was like, maybe it is. I forgot about her. She can heal. She comes with great survivability. I'd have to really test it out. But Brokkir, I still, to me, I still feel like this guy is, when you're talking about a tank, you want a guy that can survive. And getting him to A5, Jesus, he restores 100% max HP after his iceberg. That is crazy. That is crazy. And this guy's just an absolute beast. He's really hard to kill. He comes with freeze, makes it hard for swarm strategies as well, or like when you try to bomb someone with Brokkir, because he has the potential to freeze them and it just ruins the whole strategy. This guy's a beast. Survivability, the best dwarf in the game. There's not too many dwarfs. They honestly, I feel like Moonton just straight up hates little people because the dwarfs get absolutely disrespected in this game. We got Orim, one of the worst defenders in the game. We got my boy Azor, one of the worst defenders in the game. And you can't forget about the infamous Cratch. Everybody loves to get cratched when they're summoning. The little people get disrespected. Hey, we need to do a rally on giving the little people a little gosh dang respect around here. But okay, so that's my number 3. Let's go to Kory's number 3.
Yes, so we have Ymiret. Ymiret.
My
now,
man.
Shout out to Wumbo because I know he's trying to get Ymiret, but just a fun joke that's inside like the Shire. But yeah, Ymiret is one of those units that he is unanimously used. He's almost like the jack of all trades. Ever since he came into Guild v Guild, he's just very popular because you kind of need like a strong ground unit, right? Now obviously there's some other units that have come into the meta that are quickly taking his spot because of what teams are popular for Ymiret. However, just in general, providing freeze, the bond with Anora, the overall CC that he provides with good damage, he's one of those units where I will never say that Ymiret wins you the Guild v Guild match, like your defense. However, he comes very close, right? Like he will make it so all your units benefit and get the ability to shine harder. And he's just also a reliable unit in general because he doesn't insta-die. He has his egg form as well, which also is a major benefit for his overall strength. Now, one of the things that I still need to go ahead and test is kind of related to how the Nightmare faction bonus works. Specifically, is it 2 hits for his Winter's Bite, or does it calculate as 1 hit but double damage? So that's one thing to definitely, if you're an independent person and you're just like bored, like go test it and let me know because I'm definitely curious. Because Winter's Bite is a proc, is such a valuable thing. Think about it. They turned Winter's Bite into a demon soldier ability, right? There's a reason. It's strong, you know? So yeah, Ymiret's definitely top 3.
Absolutely. I will save my spot on the list where I have Ymiret. I definitely have him on the list. Didn't forget about my man right here. I love Ymiret. But let's go ahead and let's go to let's do your number 2. Who do you got at number 2?
Yeah. Oh boy. Number 2. Number 2 is Valara.
Valara. Interesting.
Valara.
Okay.
I hate this unit so much with a passion.
I do too.
She is okay. So playing against her, right? Especially if she's A3, which there's a lot of A3s at the top 5 of Overlord. It's ridiculous, which means she gets less damage, fatal damage, right? So with Valara, her main kind of thing, and I'm going to give you guys like a little bit of info because I just did some testing for like hours earlier before we were recording this. Valara for the towers will go ahead and hit the entirety of the map once the unit starts pathing upwards because of her lightning. So she will have a massive range that you wouldn't even necessarily anticipate. And then also, let's not forget, she has a knockback. She has Radiant Erosion, which deals damage. She has Esoteric and Arbiter faction. Ridiculous factions for GvG Guild in general. So also, she's invisible. She just does so much damage. She can be placed on platform or a tile, like ground tiles. Like, what can't she do? And you know, the only thing she can't do is stop units when she's invisible. That's her only downside.
Yep, that's unfortunate because I do not have this chick either. Do you have her?
No.
So we're in the same boat. Dude, I tried to go all out for this chick. She is an absolute beast. I actually have her at number 2 as well. This is my number 2 as well. I'm curious to know who you have at number 1, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes. But Valara, oh my goodness, this chick is so annoying. Ever since they released her, it's like a big slap in the face whenever I see her in GvG, whenever I see her in anti-air, whenever I see her in AoE. Like, this chick is so annoying to go against. She's just the jack of all trades. She's basically a unit that's about that life, and she just the fact that she could go on platforms and she could go on the ground and she's invisible and she comes with booty clapping and she's got the Radiant Erosion and she's got the slows and she's got the knockback and she's got the you guys see where I'm going with this. I mean, she's got everything. I hate it.
You know what she reminds me of?
What's that?
Like, she reminds me of Ingrid. Like, early Ingrid. Whenever,
yes.
Once you had her, it's like the game was, you were playing a different game. Like, nothing mattered. You could do anything. You could go ahead and put her in Fracture if you wanted to, and you could go do some level 4 Malra keys if you really cared to. Like, she is indestructible.
I'll go back even further than that. It's like when Boreas first got released, before he got nerfed. Dude, that guy was, he was basically like Valara. The fact that he could reach almost anywhere on the map, you just pop his ultimate and freaking just destroys everything. Like, when they first released Boreas, for those of you guys that don't know or was not playing this game, Boreas he was so good. He was so overpowered. He was better than every hero in the game, and it wasn't even close. And I didn't have Boreas, and I was like, even if I had Boreas, I think he needs to be nerfed. There's no reason this man should be that strong. Like, just deleting everything. There was a lot of people upset, especially the Boreas owners. Well, it was only the Boreas owners that was upset when he got nerfed. But yeah, Valara, she's an account changer. I like the way you worded that. You said, it just makes the game feel different. You know, you're just going through and you're like, oh, well, this is easy. Oh, this stage, let me just throw Valara in there. And she's part of two of the biggest booty clapping factions in the game. Yeah. Oh my God, it doesn't get much better than that. So I'll go with my number 1 first. Let's do my number 1 first, all right? Here, let's go ahead and take the blackout out. Bam! We got Ymiret. We got Ymiret. Is it Ymiret? Ymiret? I always call him Ymiret.
Depends on the lore. Like, which mythology you're going based off of.
So the reason why I have this man number 1, I like everything you said. I do. I like everything you said. This is another one that I don't have. You guys see the trend? They're not giving me all the top units, all the top new units that come out. I don't get them. This game hates me. I think I'm blacklisted. I don't know what it is, but I can't get these guys to save my life. I went all in on all of Ymiret's banners, and I cannot get this man. The fact that he's part of the unnamed faction just brings a special element to the game. It makes it to where he is so good. The fact that he can jump on any Lord skill, like, you know, you want to go with the Arbiter team, guess what? Throw in Ymiret. You want to go with the Watcher team, throw in Ymiret. You want to go with any team, you just throw this man in and he will just absolutely dominate. The fact that he's a ground unit, see, he wouldn't be as special if he was a platform unit. We got plenty of platform units that bring what he brings to the table. Of course, he does a little bit more booty clapping on his side, but The fact that he's a ground unit, that's what makes him special. The fact that he's an unnamed, that's what makes him even more special. The fact that he comes with, look at that crowd control. These guys are frozen. And then he just deletes them. He just has the ultimate crowd controls, the ultimate booty clapping. I had to put him number 1 on the list just because of how annoying he is. And GvG, I still think till this day, even with the additions of Neza and we got our girl Valara, we got all these new units that came into the game, I still feel like in my eyes, he's number 1. I'm glad that you had him at least number 3, and I'm glad our list wasn't exactly the same, different perspectives, right? But that has me, you struck my curiosity, my friend. Who do you have at number 1?
Real quick, Ymiret has the best skin in the game. Just saying.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
His skin is insane. Lady Alexandra is definitely going to be number 1. I think.
Yes. How could I forget about
that? How can I explain just like Lady Alexandra does things different to me that like I wish like I didn't have to subject myself to, because like, okay, so basically my BP is pretty good, like really good. I wouldn't be in like the guild that I'm in if it was bad, right? My demons are really good. But the thing is, Lady Alexandra does not care. She is the definition of like a win more hero. Like, for example, if you are going to like just stomp your enemy, like she will go ahead and be like atomic bomb versus coughing baby, like she'll just like wipe it out. Doesn't matter. Goodbye. One shot your tank. Good night. And the only counter, and I mean, I don't really care about like talking about it because I feel like it's a pretty well-known counter at this point. Well, at least for high-level guild. But basically, the counter is essentially you want to take out the tank, and if you can't take out the tank, that's fine. No one cares. But taking out the tank is ideal. The next step is you go ahead and you stagger your healers. So you get to 10 cost, you drop healer 1, wait half a second, drop healer 2, right? The reason being is because what's going to happen is Lady Alexandra is going to target both healers, which is going to proc them to heal one another. That's step 1. Step 2 is you drop Necro at 10 costs, or technically you can drop it at like 8 costs, and then you drop the second Necro once you get to the other 5 costs. So you drop Necro at 8 costs, you're at 3 costs, wait 2 costs, drop the second Necro. What's going to happen is she's going to go ahead and target both Necros at that point, which is fine, because what will happen is your healers will trigger their heal and then heal the Necros, and they will survive. Then you drop your rare tanks. Now, the really important part is you want to drop your rare tank at 4 cost, because right when you drop the rare tank, based off the timing interval of Lady Alexandra, she will insta-target the rare tanks. And so what's happening is, and you repeat the process for the second rare tank drop, and so what happens is your healers are healing your Necros, and your Necros are spawning all the skeletons. And so what will happen is they will quickly kind of traverse the map and take 0 damage and eventually swarm the Lady Alexandra. That's the only major counter to it, but it's very BP intensive, because if she is strong enough, i.e. Diaochan, then she could just one-shot your healers, one-shot your Necros, and then you have nothing left. But just her ability to be both a piercer, right? Like, come on, a piercer, and an arbiter, it's like, she gets massive buffs from those 2 factions in particular. And then let's not forget, she has a cross map hit. Like, she has a cross map hit, which is very impressive, especially for like newer players. Like, I remember prior to joining like the Shire and things like this, right, when I was in Celestials, going against like Lady Alexandra just felt like I was getting like punched in the head, right? Because you need a certain BP to fight back, and if you don't have the BP to fight back, Lady Alexandra just feels impossible to go against. So she is number 1, but I will say I think it's fair for it to be Ymiret or Valara, because all 3 of them in different ways can be incredibly oppressive to go against. So yeah,
absolutely. I mean, now that you said that, I was like, of course it's Lady A. I even said I knew that Lady A was on your list. I should have known that, and I can't argue with you. I just don't see. She would have definitely made like at least number 2 on my list, minimum, because I literally I avoid her if I do see her. I don't even try to attempt it because of, like you said, that long range. Like she could just hit anywhere. It's just super annoying. She deletes everything. But the fact that I don't see her as much as probably you do,
Yes.
that's why I didn't have her on the list as high. But yeah, like, I mean, shoot, where you're at, almost everybody probably has her, and she would
Besides
definitely.
me.
Besides you. Oh, so you don't have Lady? Oh, that sucks. But
I'm so close.
well, hopefully, how many points?
15K.
Oh man, you're sitting where I'm sitting.
Yep.
But hopefully we get her one day, and we could stop being, well, I could stop being a Lady A hater, but until that day, I will hate on this woman because she just is so freaking overpowered. It's not even funny, and that is an awesome, amazing number 1 to have. But Kory, I want to thank you for joining the video and giving me your time. And again, if you guys have not already, make sure you subscribe to this man right here. Thank you, Kory.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. All right, you guys have a good rest of your night. I'm out. Peace.